Hi guys, my name is Gavin. I run an email and SMS marketing agency. We've driven about $5.8 million in revenue through the use of email marketing, so I'm absolutely qualified to talk about what I am talking about. Today I'm going to run through the canceled order and the refunded order when it comes to e-commerce email marketing. These are two flows that hardly anybody sets up, and I'm going to show you exactly how I set them up for my clients and how I recommend you set them up for your business as well. Now, quick note, you actually have access to this folder and this file here that we're going to walk through together in the description to the video. So you have access to this if you want to follow along. Awesome. It will actually be a lot easier if you listen to my voice or have this video playing on the side while you play around on the board yourself. So, a quick explanation as to what we're looking at here. This is an automation, or rather represents an automation that I recommend you build within Klaviyo. Now you can probably build something similar in other ESPs, email service providers, but this is just something that I recommend. It's software that I recommend for e-commerce businesses. Klaviyo is the way to go, and it's also assuming you are using Shopify, as these automations are triggered off of Shopify metrics registering in Klaviyo, those metrics being canceled order and refunded order. Straight from the top, I also want to note, this is also assuming, pardon me, you are not using Gorgeous as a support ticket system, because if you are, I recommend building a different set of flows, because that can help you automate the process of like customer support, creating tickets, and all that good stuff. So let's really quickly walk through the explanation as to what these symbols mean. On the left-hand side here, we have the trigger, which represents what triggers the automation. We have the email, which represents an email, a conditional/trigger split, and then an update profile property metric. We're not actually going to be playing around with this last one at all today, but we will be playing with every single other one here. So, canceled order. FYI, this is flow 11 and 12 of an entire automation board that I've created here. If you want access to this entire board, just go ahead and click the link just here. It'll take you to a payment gateway where you can actually purchase this entire board. But nonetheless, you have this one for free today. So, canceled order. The trigger is naturally somebody canceling their order, right? Ensure that that metric is registering in your e-commerce platform and is then being passed into Klaviyo, right? So Shopify obviously registers it. Make sure that metric is making its way into Klaviyo so that you can trigger this automation. If you do decide to set this automation up within Klaviyo instead of your e-commerce platform, such as Shopify, which I recommend you do, we want to bring as much email marketing communications as we can from your e-commerce platform to your Klaviyo account. Very important that we do that as it helps build up deliverability. I recommend you turn off the notification that comes out from that platform. For example, Shopify has an automated message that comes out when you send a canceled order or when you cancel an order. You want to turn that off and bring that into Klaviyo, but do that once you've set up your flow. If you do want a quick guide as to well, essentially what that does, is it prevents us from any message overlap and double ups, right? We don't want to send a Klaviyo notification and a Shopify notification. We just want to have one notification. I've given you a link here on how to do this within Shopify, so go ahead and click that. We're not going to have any flow filters as there is no need in this automation. And then we have the cancel order, which is the flow, and we have a 5-minute delay. You want a 5-minute delay here, as you want to ensure there is enough time for the following conditional split to be able to pick up the refunded order metric. So this flow is assuming you are building flow 12 as well, okay? So the conditional split here is then following a 5-minute delay, which means your Klaviyo software has enough time to pick up any metrics that are being passed to it from your e-commerce platforms such as Shopify. The conditional split. Here we are splitting people off if they have been refunded their money as well as having their order canceled. We add this split as depending on whether or not this happens, we will be talking slightly differently in the following emails. In email 1A, we will let the reader know that their order has been canceled, meaning they have only canceled and not refunded. In email 2A, we will let them know their order has been canceled and refunded. This split and this time delay allows us to differentiate between these two audiences. So let's move over to the left, email 1A. In this email, you are simply going to do the following. This is the one where the person has canceled their order but not refunded it yet. We're going to notify the reader that their order has been canceled. We're going to let them know that if this was not what they wanted, that they should reach out, right? They should respond to this email if that's not what they wanted. We're going to also provide them with support and contact us details. And we're also going to include a dynamic image and name blocks that display the item that was canceled. To ensure that this code is displaying in Klaviyo, here are the dynamic pieces of code you should add based off of the Shopify integration. So if you add these codes into your email, it should dynamically pull that information from Shopify and display the cancel order metrics into the email itself. You want to keep this email super transactional, as following the setup of this email, we are then going to go to Klaviyo and request that they mark the email as a transactional email. What does this do? It ensures that the email will be treated with high priority and will more likely land in someone's primary inbox, which affects your entire email deliverability. To do this, all you have to do is copy the link to the email in the editor and send it to Klaviyo support and just request it as transactional. Nice and easy. That's all you have to do. On the other side here, we know in this case that they have both canceled and refunded their order, and we want to speak to them accordingly. So, how are we going to speak to them accordingly? We're essentially just going to highlight the process that we mentioned here in terms of the canceled order, but also highlight the process by which somebody can get how their refund will be processed to them, right? Your process is going to be different from somebody else's, whether that be like a direct transfer, a credit card refund. You need to explain that in your email and include the process of having their order canceled. So that's the canceled order flow. On the other side here, we have the refunded order flow. And these flows work in conjunction, which is why I recommend you build both of them out. The trigger here is the order being refunded. Make sure that metric is actually passable into Klaviyo from whatever platform you're selling your products on. And we have the filter here, canceled order 0 times since starting this flow. This filter we do want to have because it prevents overlap here. Because if they cancel their order while they're in this flow, notice there's no time delay. If they cancel their order while they're in this flow, they will go into this flow here, okay? Because this flow is triggered off of the canceled order. And note, we speak to them if they've refunded their order in email 2A. This is why it's so important to have these two emails working together. In the refunded order email, assuming they have not canceled their order, right? If they haven't canceled their order and they've just had a refund, or they've canceled their order and they've already received the canceled order flow, and now they're getting a follow-up refund process, we're going to do the following. We're going to keep a simple and direct subject line. For example, your order has been refunded. You're going to include the order details, which is just down here. You're going to state explicitly that the refund has been processed. Mention the total amount to avoid any confusion if you can. That will be using the dynamic product value. So like use a piece of code that highlights the value of the product. Give them an option for further assistance, and then encourage future purchases. You can highlight perhaps some new arrivals, some upcoming sales. Be gentle with this one because there's a chance that someone's pissed off with your brand and they might not just want to purchase from you ever again. But there's also an opportunity there to encourage that repeat purchase through the use of some sort of discount or something like that, right? Once again, we're going to make sure this email is transactional. So once we've scripted it, written it, and we haven't got anything that's going to make it not transactional, you're going to copy the link, go to Klaviyo support, email it to them, and boom, you have a transactional email, which is treated with higher priority and is more likely to land in people's inboxes, which affects your overall deliverability. Guys, that is how I recommend you create a canceled order and refunded order flow. I recommend you create both. If you want access to every single board that I've highlighted, which is once again right here, along with every single software that I use for email marketing, go ahead and click this link here and it'll take you directly there. Any questions, let me know. If you're happy with the video, just give me a little comment down below, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.